Hi, folks. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas on the set of Sportsbook Radio Vegas Hockey Hotline, my daily radio shows. Thrilled to be talking hockey with you here at bangthebook.com. Follow along on Twitter at bangthebook. And, of course, the Sports Betting Podcast is great information. We're jacked about hockey. It's our NHL season preview. We're going to go rapid-fire Gatling gun. We're going to go through 31 teams and their season point total. So let's get after it. We'll start with Anaheim. We'll go alphabetically. 100 to 5.5 points. Team is still loaded, deep on defense. That's a team that should get there, I think, and go over the 105.5. Arizona Coyotes caught a break. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, knee injury, but they don't think there's structural damage. It's a team, 74.5 season point total, hovering right on that number, but they need Ekman-Larsson to be healthy. Boston Bruins, 92.5. They got a great first line. McAvoy, good up-and-coming defense. Overall, I'm not sure about the offense for the Bruins. 92.5, that's right on the periphery, but there's some backclass with that team. Calgary Flames, 95.5. I think that's a salty number. I think it's a good team, but I don't think they're that good. I would go under the 95.5. Carolina Hurricanes, 92.5. Great young defense. This is a team that has an opportunity to contend for one of those bottom-tier spots in the Eastern Conference in the postseason. We go to the Chicago Blackhawks, getting a little long in the tooth, but still a ton of talent, 100.5 points. It's all about the playoffs for the Blackhawks. They'll get the points, probably go over the 100.5. Colorado Avalanche, 69.5. They've got to trade Duchesne. They did next to nothing in the offseason, got a goaltender, Bernier. I don't know that they get the 69.5 points. They only had 48 last year. Columbus Blue Jackets, 96.5. Listen, they had a 16-game winning streak last year. It was a perfect storm, but they limped into the playoffs. I think that number, you could see the Blue Jackets come down a touch. There's talent there, but it's a pretty high number. Dallas Stars, well, offseason they went nuts. Barkov, they get the goaltender Bishop, and you wonder, put an all-star team together is great, but will it actually work? It's a high inflated total at 97.5. They should be good, but I think I might still go under that 97.5. Detroit Red Wings, unfortunately, not good. Under 78.5 points. Edmonton Oilers, 103.5 points. People are going nuts about this team. With McDavid is amazing. Draisaitl got a lot of great young talent there. Maybe an overinflated number, but a lot of people think they are a stroke on the board to be a major factor in the Western Conference. Florida Panthers, 86.5. Analytics did them in last year. Lost their head coach, moved Dale Talon downstairs, moved them back upstairs. They'll be better, but I don't know if they'll be good enough to make the playoffs. 86.5, I'd probably go under there. LA Kings, 89.5. I think it's a bounce-back year if Quick stays healthy. A little slow in a speed game these days, but there's back class for the LA Kings. Minnesota Wild, that would be an underplay for me, 96.5. There's a lot of pressure on this team. But I thought last year was kind of a perfect storm for them. I would go under with the Wild. Canadians, 99.5. You got the goaltender Price. I don't know where the offense comes from. I'll go under the 99.5 for the Canadians. Predators, 97.5. Hey, they were an 8 seed last year. I'd go under that total, too. Plus, they lose Phil Housley, who coached up the defense pretty good for the Predators. New Jersey Devils, they're going to be better. I'll go over the 74.5. The kid Hisshire looks really good. I think Taylor Hall has another big year. Islanders, 88.5. Middle of the road. It's a pretty good number. I'd steer clear of it, but they've got some talent. Love Tavares. But this is a team that just is kind of a little bit of a roller coaster ride. There's some opinions here in Las Vegas that the Rangers are going to take a step down to a degree. You still get Lundqvist, but again, this is a team getting a little long in the tooth, and Ronta's not the backup anymore. I'd consider under 95.5 for the Rangers. Ottawa Senators, 91.5. If Erik Karlsson is healthy, he's a stud. He may be the best defenseman. He is the best defenseman, I think, in the NHL, but he had that ankle surgery. They took a big chunk of the bone out of his ankle. If he misses significant time at the beginning of the season, might be too big a hill to climb for the Senators to make the playoffs. Flyers, 90.5. They get the Patrick in the draft. I think as a team could bounce back, have a bit of a better year. I don't think they're a playoff team. Pittsburgh Penguins, 104.5. You betcha. You still got Crosby, Malkin, and all the kids from Wilkes-Barre. Did great work. No reason to think they won't get better. The San Jose Sharks, 96.5. Listen, you got Brett Burns back there. You still got some guys that can snipe. Marlowe's not there, but Pavelski and company. I would go over the 96.5 with the Sharks. The Blues have injury concerns. I'd go under the 95.5 in St. Louis. Tampa Bay, 102.5 points. I think they're going to be a stud this year if they stay healthy. I would go over the total there with Stamkos coming back. The Toronto Maple Leafs. This is the one for me. People love the Leafs. McDavid, Marner, Nylander. They got a ton of young talent, but now they've got the weight of expectations in Toronto, and the pressure could be tough on them. I'm going to say they come back to reality a little bit and go under the 95.5 points. Vancouver's bad, 72.5, go under. I think the Vegas Golden Knights, 67.5. Clearly, this is a number that I think is overinflated because of where we reside. It's an expansion team. I think they'll come up short in the physical department. Then they're going to face backup goalies in the middle of the season, which is fine, but they're going to move significant players at the trade deadline. I just don't see them getting to the 67.5 points. Washington Capitals, 103.5 points. The regular season wonders, I guess they can go over again. A lot of love for the Winnipeg Jets to go over the 91.5. They've got a lot of good young talent, Scheifele, Laine, Bufflin. And by the way, I went back and realized I skipped the Buffalo Sabres, 87.5 points. That's my team to sneak into the playoffs this year. They improved their defense with Scandella, Antipin, and Ballou they got from Montreal. Phil Housley's there. They're playing an up-tempo style. I'll also tell you, they're going to be an over team. Housley pulled the goalie with 3 minutes to go in a preseason game leading up to the regular season. Watch Buffalo being an over team this year. Jack Eichel is going to have a monster season. Love hockey. We're excited in Vegas. We're about to start a brand new era of professional sports here. There's always great sports information for you, as always, at bangthebook.com. I'm Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Glad to be with you. Enjoy the NHL season.